Hey, my good people, how are you all today? Real quick, I just wanted to follow up on a partial answer that I gave yesterday about Rob Brown's question about real estate development. As you know, we are limiting the question because I didn't know exactly. We're limiting it to residential real estate development. And yesterday, I talked specifically about budget, specifically making sure that if flipping or rehabbing a property is something that you really get into, that you make sure that you have the proper funds available. That is really going to be the key to your success. I can't overstate that. There are a lot of things that you can do to minimize that cost or to mitigate some of the other risks, but ultimately, it really comes down to this: any property in a house can be fixed for the right amount of money. That's just it. Uh, you know, whether you're spending the money or you're spending your time in replacement of the money, there are going to be some expenditures of resources. Period. Maybe that's a better term. You need resources, whether it be your time, money, or other people's money and or time. You need those to make it happen. Period. So step one is always to make sure that you have those resources lined up and ready to go. Okay. Step two, and this is probably uh, like if one is having the money or the resources, this is like 1A. You gotta have a plan. I'm gonna repeat that. Step 1A is or 1B, you gotta have a plan. And you have to stick to that plan when you start. I'm going to give you a quick example. When I first got into the first half house I actually rehabbed on my own, I expected it to be a full gut job. I went into the property expecting to actually not make it a full gut job. I was hoping it would be more of a carpet and paint type of deal where I would, change out the countertops in the kitchen, replace the carpet, repaint the sucker, call it a day. That is not what happened. Okay. Matter of fact, it didn't happen, and those contingency funds I told you about, that's a wonderful thing because I needed all. But then I did something stupid in the midst of finishing up the project. I got creative. And I said, "Wow, if I can do this, that, and the other, then the house will be even better." The ideas were good. The only problem was I had already basically torn open a bunch of walls, spent a lot of money fixing the initial issues that I ran into, replaced the wall boards, meaning I put insulation and wall board back up or drywall back up, was on the verge of painting, i.e. finishing up the project, and then decided that, hey, I'm going to go in a whole new direction. So all of those thousands of dollars that I had spent plus the time was just basically out of the window. I just threw it out the window, starting from scratch again. Well, again, this being my first project, I'm telling you this because don't make that mistake, because that piece right there turned my project, my first rehab project, where I was intentionally planning to rehab the property and flip it. It turned it into what should have been maybe a 3-month project into a 5 to 6 month project. A lot of things happened in those last 3 months. The market shifted, comps died, or comps that I could have used for sales prices were no longer viable because they were too old. Um, I went from having the property being ready in the late summer to, August, which is not a good time to have a property ready. I mean, if you got to do it, you do it, but you prefer to have it ready earlier in the year so that people can buy it, be moved in before school starts. But my own ignorance and my lack of a plan and sticking to that plan made that darn near impossible. So don't let that happen to you. So basically, if you when you go into a property, you make a plan, run that plan by people that you trust as you're starting. Make sure that it makes sense and make sure it has all the items that absolutely need to be done. and some of the embellishments that you want to add just for your own satisfaction and to give it a little pop. But once you do that, and once that list is set and those repairs are started, the only thing that changes from the only time that list changes is if something dramatic happens and pops up that you don't know about. But again, even those items should be planned for, right? So hope that helps. And if you have any other questions, like I said yesterday, please feel free to put them in the comments down below, or use our link to our Facebook, or not Facebook, to our forum, our question forum. All right, have a great one.